Hello, this is Amir Lord, Chairman ILTV and Head of Linguistics, BAETTA Bangladesh. Welcome to Language Skills Testing Evaluation and Assessment Course Module 19A, Steps of Test Construction. As a part of MA in English, ELT, TOEFL and TESOL programs, in this module, I will talk about different steps of constructions of a good or standardized test in details. This is one of the most important and crucial topics in language skills testing, evaluation and assessment course. So, this video is very important and beneficial to you. Let's get started. Introduction. Steps of construction of a good and standardized test. This video will sparkle an ample light upon the four main steps involved in the construction of a good and standardized test together with their subparts in details. These steps and procedures help us to produce a valid, reliable, objective and usable standardized test. The four main steps are: number 1, planning the test; number 2, preparing the test; number 3, trying out the test; and number 4, evaluating the test. Now, I want to discuss each step in details. Let's begin. Step 1. Planning the test and statement of the problem. Planning of the test is the first important step in the test construction. The main goal of evaluation procedure is to collect valid, reliable, objective and useful data about the student. Test planning encompasses all of the varied operations that go into producing the test. Not only does it involve the operation of an outline or table specifying the content or options to be covered by the test, but it must also involve careful attention to item difficulty, to types of items, to direction to the examiner, etc. For standardized tests, a systematic and satisfactory planning is necessary. In the opinion of Rose, I quote, "Good tests don't just happen, nor they are the result of a few moments of high inspiration and exaltation," unquote. It's the test constructor who is by all means responsible to give a proper shape to his test items and who constructs the test with all cares and sincerity. As planning of the test is the first important step in the test construction, so the main goal of evaluation process is to collect valid, reliable and useful data about the student. So, before going to prepare any test, we must keep in mind that number 1, what is to be measured; number 2, what content areas should be included; and number 3, what types of test items are to be subsumed. Therefore, the first step includes 3 major considerations. Number 1, determining the objectives of testing; number 2, preparing test specifications; and number 3, selecting appropriate items types. Let's speak about them elaborately. 1.1. Determining the objectives of testing. A test can be used for different purposes in a teaching learning process. It can be used to measure the entry performance, the progress during the teaching learning process, and to decide the mastery and calibrability level achieved by the students. Tests serve as an aid or a good instrument to measure the performance of the students. It answers the questions whether the student have required skill to enter into the course or not, or what previous knowledge does the pupil possess. Therefore, it must be decided whether the test will be used to measure the performance or the previous knowledge required or acquired by the student on the subject. Tests can also be used for formative evaluation. It helps to carry on the teaching learning process, to find out the immediate learning difficulties and to suggest its remedies. When the difficulties are still unresolved, we may use diagnostic tests. Diagnostic tests should be prepared with high technique. So, specific items to diagnose specific area of difficulty should be introduced in the test. Tests are used to assign grades or to determine the mastery or calibrity level of the students. These summative tests should cover the whole instructional objectives and content areas of the course. Therefore, attention must be given towards these aspects while preparing a test. 1.2. Preparing test specifications. The second important step in the planning of the test construction is to prepare the test specifications. In order to be sure that the test will measure a representative sample of the instructional objectives and content areas, we must prepare test specifications, so that an elaborate design is necessary for test construction. One of the most commonly used devices for this purpose is table of specification or blueprint. Preparation of table of specification or blueprint. Preparation of table of specification is the most important task in the planning stage. It acts as a guide for the test construction. Table of specification or blueprint is a three-dimensional chart showing list of instructional objectives, content areas, and types of items in its dimensions. It includes four major steps. Step 1. Determining the weightage to different instructional objectives. Step 2. Determining the weightage to different content areas. Number 3. Determining the item types to be included. And number 4. Preparation of the table of specification. Now, let's speak about them in details. Number 1. Determining the weightage to different instructional objectives. There are vast arrays, range, or assortments of instructional objectives. We can't include all in a single test. In a written test, we can't measure the psychomotor domain and affective domain. We can only measure the cognitive domain. It's also true that all the subjects don't certain or contain different learning objectives like knowledge, understanding, application, and skill in equal proportion. Therefore, it must be planned how much weightage to be given to different instructional objectives. While deciding this, we must keep in mind the importance of particular objective for the subject, chapter, or topic. For example, if we have to prepare a test in general science for class 10, we may give the weightage to different instructional objectives as follow. Table 1.1 showing weightage given to different instructional objectives in a test of 100 marks. Objectives, weightage in percentage, number of questions or marks. A. Knowledge 20%, 20 marks. B. Understanding 40%, 40 marks, 40 questions. C. Application 40%, 40 questions, 40 marks, and so on. Number 2. Determining the weightage to different content areas. The second step in preparing the table of specification is to outline the content area. It indicates the area in which the students are expected to show their performance. It helps to obtain a representative sample of the whole content area. It also prevents repetition and omission of any unit. Now, question arises, how much weightage should be given to which unit? Some experts say that it should be decided by the concerned teacher, keeping the importance of the chapter in mind. Others say that it should be decided according to the area covered by the topic in the textbook. Generally, it's decided on the basis of pages of the topic, total page in the book, and number of items to be prepared. For example, if a test of 100 marks is to be prepared, then the weightage to different topics will be given as following. Theory of sorting out weightage of a topic. Weightage of a topic is equal to total number of items or marks divided by total number of pages in the book and multiplied by number of pages in the topic. If a book contains 250 pages and 100 test items or marks are to be constructed, then the weightage will be given as following. Table 1.2. This table showing weightage given to different content areas. Serial number 1, topic 1, page 1 to 24, number of items or marks 10, percentage of items or marks 10. Serial number 2, topic number 2, page 25 to 55, number of items or marks 12, percentage of items or marks 12, ... Serial number 5, topic number 5, page 219 to 250, number of items or marks 12, percentage of items or marks 12, total number of items or marks 100, percentage of items or marks 100. Number 3, determining the items types. The third important step in preparing table of specification or blueprint is to decide appropriate item types. Items used in the test construction can be broadly divided into two types, like objective type items and essay type items. For some instructional purposes, the objective type items are most efficient, whereas for other, the essay questions prove satisfactory. Appropriate item types should be selected according to the learning outcomes to be measured. For example, when the outcome is writing, naming supply type items are useful. If the outcome is identifying a correct answer, selection type of recognition type items are useful. So that the teacher must decide and select appropriate item types as per the learning outcomes. Number 4, preparing the three-way chart. Preparation of the three-way chart is last step in preparing table of content, specification or blueprint. This chart relates the instructional objectives to the content area and types of items. In a table of specification, the instructional objectives are listed across the top of the table, content areas are listed down the left side of the table, and under each objective, the types of items are listed content-wise. Table 1.3 is model table of specification for class 10 science. Table 1.3 table of specification for science biology class 10. Instructional objectives are content areas, knowledge, understanding and application. Content area 1, item food. Knowledge, supply type 0, multiple choice question 1, matching type 0, true false 1, understanding, supply item 1, multiple choice 1, matching time 0, true false 2, application, supply type 1, multiple choice 1, matching type 1, true false 0, total 10. Similarly, content areas 2, 3, 4, etc. should be presented in the same way. And finally, content items 5, essentials for good health, knowledge, supply type 1, multiple choice 3, matching type 1, true false 1, understanding, supply item 1, multiple choice 1, matching type 1, true false 1, application, supply item 1, multiple choice question 2, matching type 0, true false 1, total 12. So total supply type 5, in knowledge multiple choice 6, in knowledge matching type 4, in knowledge and true false 5 in knowledge, in understanding supply item 12, multiple choice 8, matching type 11, true false 9, in application supply type 9, multiple choice 10, matching type 10, true false 6, total 100 marks. Viewers, in my next video I will talk about step 2, preparing the test of test construction in details. Thank you.